Well, I don't want to create any more floors until I've got some walls that I can insert the floors between. So I'm going to start by just creating all of the rooms down here. I like to get one area looking good and get that finished off, and then I move on to the next. It just keeps everything cleaner and less room for mistakes. So back here, remember you still need to be in your ground floor. So the level that you're working in needs to be double clicked under your floor plans. I tend to minimize ceiling plans just so I don't accidentally draw in the wrong view. And if I'm in that level, that means that my wall knows that it needs to start on ground floor, and it will remember to leave your options bar the same as what you'd set them before. So you can see here that mine now sits called top flat. I'm going to go and select, if I've got a brick veneer 250 timber, I'm going to choose stud timber 90. If you remember when we broke the wall down, it was a 90 timber stud here, so I'm going to match that with the internal walls as well. Now when I start drawing, you can see I'm not overly accurate. I'm doing something, I'm generating this drawing in the general proportions of what there is there, because I know coming back and editing that is going to be a lot easier than trying to get that right in the first place. Remember, when you're sitting at your walls, you need to work from left to right or right to left or top to bottom, as long as you have a consistent flow and that you pick one wall, adjust it, and then move on to the next. I'm going to select this first one. I know that it is 3650, 3680. You can see that all of my temporary dimensions have appeared here to help me position this wall, and you can also see that it's chosen everything except what I want. So I'm going to click on this blue dot and drag it down to the face of this wall. 3680. Enter. So I've got that one sitting just right. I'm now going to work my way from left to right. I think the first one's 3500. The second one is 1750. So this time my temporary dimensions, these are my temporary dimensions, are popping up where I want them to be, 1745. This next wall is 1745 as well, and that was convenient. And then the last one is 2800. So you can see very quickly we've just generated the bottom. Now I need to come back and look at this cupboard. And if you go back and have a look at it, you'll see that there actually isn't any dimensions to position this wall or this wall. Now because of the way dimensions need to run working drawings, this is halfway through the house, so therefore all of the dimensions for this room will appear on the bottom side of our drawing. It will start in the centre, so you can see that 1800 actually denotes the cupboards and then that wall, and then we move to the overall size of the walls of the room, and then we finish with the setouts from the external face here of the windows and the doors, all of the openings in this external wall, and then finally it would be the overall, but that would appear up here. So there it is up there. In the same way we'll work centre, working out this way, and from here working out that way. So it's important to follow that hierarchy of dimensions. It makes it easy to read. And I hope as you're working through this and trying to create your own rooms that you realise that and think about whether you think that works and whether that flow is helping you understand what it is it's dimensioning. And if it's not, maybe it needs a little bit more clarification again. So that one was 35. We don't know what those dimensions are. The next question is, what should they be? So looking at this one, I could see that we've got a vanity in there. Now that vanity can be anywhere from, well, it's got a full-size basin in it, so I would guess from 500 through to as thick as I want to make it. So at the most it'd probably be sitting at 600 wide. That's not quite accurate enough for me. What I would be basing this on is the door here. If we were to look up at our door schedule, we could see that D5 is a standard door, and in fact nearly all of the doors here are 820. That means a 900 opening. So now that we know that, we can see that there's a little bit more space, and we want that space because what can happen is that after we've placed the door in there, once the builder's created it, we've got that 900 opening. We also need to allow a little bit of room for architraves and a little bit of space either side of that again. So ideally we wouldn't like it less than a metre. It can obviously come smaller than that if we need to, but a metre would sit fine. So I'm going to click on this, set that to be a metre, set this one to be a metre. Okay. The final two of these nibs. Now with the nibs you'll find that the temporary dimensions don't work very well at all. So I'm going to put in some permanent dimensions, or DI if you like hotkeys. I just need in my options bar, so that was a hotkey there, but you will also find that that align tool is sitting here. So this and this are the same command. I'll change on the options bar from wall centerline to wall faces. And from down here and up there. So I'm putting in a couple of permanent dimensions. I've got a nib of 2 meters, and this one is 2 meters as well. So I click on the wall. When the wall is selected, every bit of information that is able to be edited pertaining to the wall will become blue. So you can see that that has become blue as well. And I'll just click once to activate that dimension to be edited. I'll do the same again. So I click on the wall, I click on the dimension, and then I overwrite it to